try our best and just keep sharing this link within the next few seconds. Today we are coming your way with Kingdom Update, and it's going to be full on. There's a lot of information that you would need to hear about when it comes to this LGBT thing. And also today we'll be talking about something that a Catholic Reverend Minister has blown out of his mouth about President Joe Biden, and you want to know what he said. And then when it comes to the LGBTQ, a lot of people, a lot of bodies that matter in society in Ghana, they have all come together to decide to share their thoughts, their opinions on whether to accept it in Ghana or not to accept it. Your thoughts are also equally very important. Many people are watching this. A lot of people are going to tap into it later. So your inputs will be heard if you share it up here. So don't forget to just start sharing it. But more importantly, enjoy yourself as we are just listening to songs for motivation. God bless you. If you are still a Ghanaian and you've not forgotten, then enjoy this. If you know how to sing, sing it along. I'll just read a few comments from our sisters and you will see what is happening. Sister Palu says, meaning no comment. So sad. So sad. This is very, very sad. Very, very sad. Something we should all be very much concerned about. But what are we seeing? It's a different thing altogether. God bless us all as we've tuned in. We welcome our brother Bright Ahinkra. Brother, God bless you as you've tuned in. Please, we want more opinions, we want thoughts, we want to discuss if this is something that Ghana should let go, because whatever we say will make a meaning somewhere. If we keep quiet, everything will be walked over. But if we say something will be seen somewhere. I'm encouraging all of us, if we are Ghanaians, let us say something about this, and God will bless us. Let us share our thoughts.
Elected a Catholic president who is diametrically opposed to all of the basic moral principles that are proclaimed by the Roman Catholic Church. Not only abortion and the sanctity of human life, but the sanctity of marriage and this gender silliness. How in the world did that happen? Tell you, if he wasn't Catholic, I probably wouldn't be so upset. He's a member of my family. He's the most powerful man in the world. And he is absolutely opposed to the basic understandings that God is the author of life. How in the world did this happen? You want an answer? I'll tell you the answer. Because our bishops have been silent for 60 years through bad catechesis and cowardice. They have barely said a thing. A few papers here and there. They speak of, there's things they could do. You say, well, why don't you do something? I'm just a little diocesan priest. I'm a grunt. They're the apostles. They have the voice. I just work for them at their privilege. They can get rid of me tomorrow. I am angry. It's a righteous anger, the same righteous anger that Jesus had when he drove the money changers out of the temple. Angry to the point where I am tempted to say this. If you are pro-abortion, I am tempted to ask you to leave St. Henry Parish. Leave this parish. Tempted to say that. Because then I think, where would you go? This is not just this parish that teaches this. This is the Catholic Church, the Holy Catholic Church of God that teaches this. What parish would accept your views? Sadly, you would find one. And that is an indictment against the bishops. This is your chance for salvation. You are welcome here, even if you're pro-abortion. But your ideas are not welcome here, and they will be given no quarter. The same with Joe Biden. He's a Catholic. He's a member of the family. If for some reason he would be in Buckeye on a Sunday, Joe Biden is welcome to come to Mass here. His ideas are not welcome here. And if you ask me a follow-up question, would you give him communion? No. Over my dead body. Not until he repents. He's a public figure. He needs to publicly repent.
Wow.
And we need to pray for his conversion. He is a member of the family. I will ask you this, though, if you're pro-abortion and you choose to stay, don't give us any money.
Wow.
Keep your money.
Wow. Keep your money.
Why? Because I'm an honest priest. And I want you to have some smidgen of integrity. Why in the world would you give money to an organization whose ideas are contrary to what you believe?
Viewers, you see what the man is talking about. This is very profound. This man has let out the card as he thinks it should be. Look, most of us have always had a certain type of mindset about the Catholic Church, and to thinking that, you know, maybe to an extent they all believe, like as a body, they believe in a certain thing that everyone thinks all of them believes in that, but it sounds to me like this man is proving otherwise. It's as if the whole body may have a certain level of understanding or agreement to certain things, but then some of their members also look at things differently. So he's talking about the fact that the church, the world, America is accepting, abortion. But not just that, they are also, desecrating marriage. And what does it mean by that? The inappropriateness that is associated with marriage, associated with sexuality and all that. This man is letting it out. He's just saying it point blank, and he's pointing on LGBTQ, gayism and lesbianism. This is where this man of God is taking this whole thing, and it is obvious. You don't need anyone to tell you that this is what the man is referring to. It's where it's very clear. So you and I understand here that the man has said it all. This man of God made it taking this whole public, and he has indicated what he means, and he is not pretending, he is not keeping anything from anyone. He is letting us understand how he feels. Evangelist Asari says, God have mercy on us. What do you also think? Share your thoughts. If you want to call in, the phone number is still scrolling under the screen. And you at the bottom, you can see the numbers there. If you are calling from overseas, you just, it's +61 already. So you just use the numbers as it is, and you can still ring in. Share your thoughts, sisters. Share your thoughts, brothers. Better still, you can just type up what you think about these things at the bottom of the screen. And like I'm saying, the man is letting us understand how the Catholic Church is not happy about some of the things that the presidency is doing in America, especially when it comes to sexuality, marriage. And when it comes to marriage, he's referring to male to male or female to female marriages, and those things that are cropping up today. And with that leading us on, you and I understand that now, even though America has it fully accepted, today we've got a lot of information I'll be skipping through really quick. Even though America has got this already accepted, now Ghana is on the verge taking a decision on this. So if America has it accepted already and still in there, a reverend minister is coming out this powerful to let the world know how dissatisfied the church is, how dissatisfied he is as a minister, how he's not happy to even accept offerings or money from people that accept abortion and gayism and lesbianism in his church. Then it is the opportunity for Ghana to decide. And you and I have the power to add our voices to what is happening in Ghana. And that is why we are doing what we are doing today. This program is being watched by a lot of people. Certain people have told us that they will be tapping into the opinions that will come out and they will be using it as a contribution. In addition to what they have said, so far the minister has said what he wants to say about this in America. Now we are going to zoom in straight and hear what is happening elsewhere about the next news item, and you are going to be mind blown. So let's move in straight away and see what is happening. This is coming your way by way of news around the world when it comes to Christianity. So we just bringing you anything that we find around the world. So it's going to be touching on various dimensions, different information that will challenge your mind. Those that you may have heard and you may never have heard it before. If you've heard this before, bring in your thoughts and let's see where we all go as a family. Now let's move on straight into the next item.
Of Muslim Organizations Ghana.
Okay, this one is bothering on the Muslims in Ghana. Okay, when it comes to LGBT in Ghana, the decision is yet to be made. There's a bill that is expected to be passed in Ghana, and the bill is against allowing homosexuality in Ghana to continue. That is what this bill is all about. So this bill is yet to be passed, and when it is passed and it is accepted in Parliament, then it means homosexualism, LGBTQ will be a criminal activity in Ghana, and it will warrant certain things, and we are going to hear this. So we've got what the Muslims are saying and what the other people are also saying. Different bodies that would never have agreed on certain things on one thing seem to be agreeing. Let's look at what they are saying. Enjoy it.
A memorandum to the Legal and Constitutional Affairs Committee of Parliament in support of the anti-LGBTQ+ bill. The group, made up of more than 40 organizations, say the bill is the best for Ghana as it seeks to protect the interest of the majority. Prince Zachariah Moses speaks for the coalition.
In conclusion, it is our considered view, based on the foregoing arguments, that the LGBTQIA+ activities are lifestyle choices and personal practices which cannot be equated with or accorded the status of rights. This is especially so because scientific research indicates that no one is born hardwired with these practices or with these attitudes genetically ingrained. Quran chapter 6 verse 116, I quote, indicates that, and if you obey most of those upon the earth, they will mislead you from the way of Allah. They follow not except assumption, and they are not but falsifying. In this context, therefore, we fully endorse the proper human sexual rights and Ghanaian family values Bill of 2021, which is currently before Parliament, and encourage the Parliament of Ghana and the President to swiftly pass the bill and assent to it respectively. Lawyer Akoto Ampao made a categorical statement that the gender, male, masculine, feminine gender is unscientific, and he made nonsense of that. I will, per this conference, want to ask respectfully, what is the sex of Lawyer Akoto Ampao? Is he a male or a female, or what? Professor Odregajeku, who determines proper human sexual rights? I'm not going to talk God. I believe she doesn't believe in God. But there is a simple determinant. She should cast her eyes to the dogs, to the pigs, and other lesser animals, and see the way they have sex. That is a proper sexual affair. Period.
I would like to acknowledge and appreciate the struggle and continuous resistance of our members of parliament, the 8 of them, particularly Honorable Sam George. And very soon we will catalog them and come again and address the general public about the people who do not seek their welfare and who we will go for them even right in their constituencies, so that we will see whether they will come back to where they are. We are not threatening anybody. We are not threatening anybody. What we are saying is that we are all Ghanaians. And whoever is there is in the parliament is there for our interests.
Clerk to the committee, Equia Odrowa, received their memorandum.
Okay, family, so they have presented a memorandum to the committee that is handling this whole situation. So guys, this is what is happening now in Ghana, and trust me, it is not simple. It is not simple. It is something that everybody's opinion is very much needed in. Okay, everyone's opinion is very much needed in this thing that is happening. So we are all supposed to be, just type up your comment, type up your input at the bottom of the screen. We've got Sister Kwanima online as well watching with us. Please type up your comment. And so this is what the Muslims are saying. This is the opinion of the Muslims in Ghana. Muslims are saying they don't accept LGBTQ in Ghana, and they will not do anything that will let this stand in Ghana, because it is against the culture of the nation and it is against what they believe in as a people. Look, people do put across a lot of arguments and say, why are Muslims trying to let this whole thing be fashioned, in accordance to their religion? It's not about their religion, it's about what they believe. Okay, this is where rights come in here. We as a group, we believe that, okay, we are Muslims, or we are Buddhists, or we are this. We don't accept this. Okay, so if another group, you belong to a different group and you think you accept it, also come out and declare what you believe in and what you accept. So it's not about picking on them saying, you people are saying you don't like this. Another people will also come and say something else. So this is about them. What do you also believe in? It's freedom. Just share your thoughts. So if all Muslims in Ghana and their representatives have gone there to submit a petition to the nation Ghana that they do not accept LGBTQ in Ghana, then we have no idea where the nation is going to if other people are also trying to push for this to be accepted in the nation. So this is what we are doing today. We've got Reverend Collins Kwache online. Guys, we are encouraging everyone to call in and share your thoughts as we progress with this presentation. So this was just what the Muslims had to say. Now let's look at the Christians in the country. The Church of Pentecost had something powerful to say. Let's go in straight away, listen to what they are also putting across, and then your thoughts will also be accepted and will be welcomed. We are Christians. You know this channel as a Christian channel, so we are bringing to you what the world wants to push. But in saying that, I would like to actually read something that has been put as part of the description to the video that we are watching. Okay, maybe I'll read that across to you after. Okay, so for now we will just move on straight to the next news item.
Because the Church of Pentecost is the blast is never going to end.
Okay, now listen to this. This is the presentation of the Church of Pentecost of Ghana. They will tell you their numbers, and they have also gone ahead to present their documents to the same committee saying whether they like this to happen in Ghana or not. Now my question to everyone is, okay, we'll get to the point. I will share my opinions. So when I'm sharing my opinions, you also share your opinions. For now, let's listen to what has happened so far in the country in respect to this. Let's go ahead and see what's going on. Listen.
Our concern is not about today. It's about the future. Today, when we elect in this LGBTQ+, what is going to happen is that we are going to accept same-sex marriage, which the president says that it is never going to happen at his watch. But if he allows LGBT+ to start, it is true that it is never going to happen at his watch. By the time we get into same-sex marriage, the president will not be the president of the nation. I agree with him, but he should stop this. He should close the door at where it matters. And we are saying that he should close it now. This movement is an insult to the intelligence of God, the Creator. We are just trying to tell God that you didn't think enough. This is how it should have been. And if you have a society where there are no absolutes, soon there will be no law. And we have to be very careful. And our lawyers who are arguing for all this, the matter on the floor is not about rights, it's about morality.
Okay, viewers, so this man is talking as a Christian. The Muslims have spoken as Muslims, and as Muslims, this is not acceptable to them. This man is speaking as a Christian. So I want us to listen to them from where they are coming from. Okay, so let's go ahead.
So the Church of Pentecost, with a population of 3,196,605, are supporting this bill that is before the floor of Parliament. We want to encourage our parliamentarians to argue and argue well, and then know that they are creations of God. They didn't come out of apes, and so they shouldn't use science as the base. They should know that the one who made this creation has the right to determine as to how the creation should behave, and the other creatures should not tell us how other creations should behave.
Wow.
Now, we have written 6 memos with 15,000 signatures.
Wow. 6 memorandums, 15,000 signatures.
Our trustees have signed, all pastors and wives in this church have signed, even our students have signed. And so we want to present the 6 memos coming from our women, our men, the youth in the Church of Pentecost, the children in the Church of Pentecost, all workers in the Church of Pentecost, and of course our theologians. And so, in all humility, we want to do our presentation, and this is the signature. Yeah.
Okay, family, so this is what the Church of Pentecost has also done, and like I said, this is what they think and this is what they believe in as the Church of Pentecost. What do you believe in? Are you a Buddhist? What else do you believe in? Whatever you believe in, what does it say? If what you believe in says something different, you have the freedom, you have the right to put it across. Share it here or share it, let the world know, so that we will know. Don't hide behind anything. Don't talk and just pretend as if you're here or there. Put it across. Let the world know, because what you say will matter, and it will be used positively to help either not to pass the bill to make it criminal, or to use it to support and to pass the bill and make this activity a criminal activity in Ghana. Mind you, in Nigeria, if you are arrested doing this, the penalty is there. It's a crime. So it's a crime somewhere else. And then we're going to move on to another person that has spoken, another group of people that have spoken. So if we've got Muslims speaking, we've got Christians speaking, who next? Let's listen to them, and your thoughts will be welcome as well. God bless you.
Why are you pushing this bill?
Okay, before we move into this particular one, I want you to take your time and listen to this very, very well. This is a minister of state, Sam George, Sam George in Ghana. This minister is the person that has taken this upon himself. He's championing this cause very well, pushing it together with some other ministers. I think there are about 7 or so. He got invited to be interviewed on CNN which is the world's biggest platform, one of the biggest platforms in the world. And let's listen to this interview, listen to it very well, and see how he presented himself and where the journalist was coming from and how he's trying to push things to go ahead. Let's listen to this patiently. Let's go.
Legalize hate and homophobia in Ghana.
A very good afternoon to your viewers, and I do not understand what you mean by pushing a bill that will legalize hate and homophobia. It's a bill to promote proper human sexual rights and Ghanaian family values. If you have another bill you're talking about, then maybe you've got the wrong man. But if you're talking to me about the bill I'm sponsoring in Parliament, it is to promote proper human sexual rights and Ghanaian family values.
What are these Ghanaian family values in your mind, sir? What do you consider Ghanaian family values?
Article 39 of the Ghanaian Constitution is clear that the state shall take steps to inculcate the right Ghanaian values, customary values, into society. The Constitution of Ghana states clearly that the National House of Chiefs is the custodian of Ghana's custom. This bill is supported by the Ghana National House of Chiefs. Our fourth consultative forum, which was held in the Ashanti regional capital of Kumasi, was actually sponsored by the National House of Chiefs. And the president of the National House of Chiefs spoke extensively at that conference, where Ghanaian culture forbids homosexuality. And so Ghanaian culture...
These members of the LGBT community we're speaking to, sir, are also Ghanaians. They are also Ghanaian. They are part of Ghanaian culture. And they're saying they're gay, they're transsexual, they're bisexual. They are also Ghanaians.
Some of the individuals who were involved in planning terror attacks in America are American citizens. Is it American culture to kill people?
That's a false. That's not the same comparison. But what I want to focus on here is
it's not the same comparison. You are telling me that because we have people who are carrying out an activity that is illegal per our laws already, and our culture frowns on it because they are found in our jurisdiction. That is our culture.
There were many things that were illegal that are unjust.
Innocent children and teachers.
Honorable MP, there are many things that were illegal, that were unjust, and those laws were changed because they are unjust.
Well, laws are a reflection of society. Until 1960, American society did not find women fit to vote. And so women did not vote there. When they found them fit to vote, society evolved. Society evolves. At this point in time, the Ghanaian society is in a position where it says it is not welcoming of homosexuality. And any other person must respect the views of Ghanaian society. The CDD, which is a far-right liberal think tank here in Ghana, carried out research which was published on the 1st of July. In fact, the academics who have sent in a memo against this bill have two of their fellows, the CDD's fellows in there, the Center for Democracy in Ghana, Democratic Development. They've been clear. Ghanaians are 97% tolerant of Ghanaians of different ethnicity, 94% tolerant of people of different religion, 91% tolerant of persons of different political persuasions, 71% tolerant of migrants and foreigners, but only 7% tolerant of homosexuality. Wow. That is the system, that is the society of Ghana.
What's your reaction to the members of the LGBT community, sir, that we've been speaking to, who tell us they're afraid for their lives when this bill passes, if this bill passes, that they're afraid to even leave their homes?
Well, anybody who is engaged in an illegal activity should be afraid of the law, shouldn't you? Then there will be no essence of law. But let's be clear about this. The United States in 2021 remains the most dangerous place for homosexuals. As of June 2021, an independent story, a story run by the Independent.
Sir, this is not about the United States. This is about Ghana. This is about Ghana. This is about Ghana, so I want to focus on Ghana, sir. Hang on. Let me ask the question. Let me ask you the question, sir. This is about Ghana. You are, as part of this bill, legalizing conversion therapy, which UN experts consider torture. Do you believe that homosexuality can be medically treated?
Well, tell me how individuals who are born men and decide to become women.
That's not an answer. Do you believe that people can be cured of homosexuality by some sort of treatment? I apologize. We appear to have lost the MP, Sam George.
Wow,
the connection is not
really
that great.
intense.
If we can reestablish that, we'll try and come back to him. And before we lost you, we were talking about conversion therapy, which is considered torture, and your bail would legalize that. Do you want to torture people in the name of curing homosexuality?
I was making the point that the individuals who decide to become transgender, who decide to change their sex from male to female, apart from undergoing surgery, also engage in hormonal treatment.
Wow.
Is that torture? Because I don't see how different hormonal treatment is from what you call conversion therapy.
Is not the same as conversion therapy. These are very, very different. This is a false equivalence you're making, sir.
No, what's the difference? I would need for you to
I am not a medical expert, but it's been by UN experts who look into this have considered conversion therapy as torture.
Expert, Larry, if you're not a medical expert, and I'm saying to you that we've spoken to the experts here in Ghana, and there is nothing different because conversion therapy is a hormonal treatment.
Wow.
And I'm saying to you that when individuals choose on their own volition to change their sex, they undergo hormonal treatment. Men go and take estrogen shots to be able to develop female features. And that's the same thing.
That is not the same thing. That is not the same thing. But I want to move away from that because you talked about the United States. You talked about the United States. This American organization held a conference in Accra in 2019. And shortly after, you introduced a bill with the same language, including family values. So you're influenced by a right-wing organization, which is considered one of the most hateful organizations exporting hate around the world. Is that correct?
It can't be farther away from the truth. Larry, I was never, myself and none of the 7 other colleagues of mine was at this conference. In fact, this conference came to my notice after the CNN's David Mackenzie asked me about it. I have had absolutely no contact with the World Council of Families. You describe them in the way in which you want to describe them. But we also have groups from the United States that are supporting LGBTQ rights, which is illegal in Ghana as we speak right now. Section 104 of our Criminal Offences Act makes it criminal. They're already trying to also influence Ghanaian stuff. This bill is in direct response. You say there was a conference here in 2019, a conference I'm unaware about. However, this bill is and I made a statement on the floor of the House in February, and my statement was clear. It was in response to the opening of an LGBTQ plus advocacy office in Ghana in January. That was supported by members of the diplomatic corps.
So you want to make it difficult for anybody to live an open, free life because of who they love in Ghana, and you want them to go to jail for 10 years. You're happy with that?
Okay, guys, look at this. This journalist is pushing something on this minister. Just thank God that this minister seems to know what he's saying. Now, he's saying that he wants to get people arrested for 10 years, but I've gone through a lot of their documents and there's nothing like that. And I was really shocked the way he came across, but listen to the answer this man is going to provide for him when he's accusing him of trying to push, when he's trying to push the MP to say that what he's trying to do is to get people to be jailed for 10 years. Listen.
Bill, it's a misinformation to say that anybody who's found guilty of a homosexual act to go to jail for 10 years. That's a misconception you're peddling, and you should not do that.
They can go to jail up to 10 years. This is just one of the many penalties that is in the bill, sir, that you're encouraging Ghanaians to report anybody who is suspected of being LGBTQ. Is that correct?
Larry, I would advise that you put a job at what you're doing, okay? If you want to put a spin on a bill, right? This is my bill that I've passed before Parliament. I'm going to read to you section 6.3 of the bill, or clause 6.3 of the bill, or 6.2 of the bill. A person who commits an offense under paragraphs A, B, C, D, E, F, G of subsection 1, which is the section that lists all the offenses, commits a second-degree felony and is liable on summary conviction to a fine of not less than 750 penalty units and not more than 5,000 penalty units, or to a term of imprisonment not less than 3 years or not more than 5 years, or both. So when you talk about 10 years imprisonment for persons engaged in homosexual activities, you are misleading the world, and that's unfortunate.
All right, so you think, okay, 10 years is too much, but 5 years is perfectly fine for somebody who's gay in Ghana to go to jail.
Well, that is the punishment for a second-degree felony in Ghana. And the activity of homosexuality is a second-degree felony.
Honorable George, are you just a hateful person who does not want people who are different from you to have a life in Ghana?
That is a defeatist approach to ask me a question, a defeatist line of questioning, that I'm a hateful person. If I'm a hateful person, we will not be protecting the rights of persons with LGBTQ and saying that you should not, they have a right. They have a right to a fair trial before competent court of jurisdiction. Section 22 of our bill prohibits extrajudicial treatment, and you're not highlighting that part. That part is the prohibition of extrajudicial treatment. A person commits a misdemeanor if that person verbally or physically abuses, assaults, or harasses a person A, accused of an offense under this act, or suffering from any gender or sexual identity. A person who commits a misdemeanor under Section 1 is liable to a fine of not less than 500 penalty unit, or not more than 1,000 penalty unit, or a term of imprisonment not less than 6 months.
So
and
you're
more than
cherry-picking what seems like a
if I am a
positive
hateful
angle
person,
of a larger bill that would make it difficult. Honorable George, let me ask a question here. You're cherry-picking a part of the bill that a much wider bill that would make it difficult for people who are LGBTQ in Ghana to live. What would you do, sir, if your son or daughter was gay?
Well, thankfully, I have 2 sons and a daughter, and none of them is gay.
That's not the answer. What would you do if one of them was gay?
You're asking me to go into the world of abstracts. I'm a lawmaker. I deal with specifics. I deal with specific stuff. I don't deal in abstract. Maybe you should be talking to a storyteller or something.
Will you take responsibility if, because of this bill, people who are going about their lives are attacked by Ghanaians or are harmed because it's legal to do so, or people have been encouraged to do so, or are suicidal for that matter,
Larry,
take their lives because they can't live in that society?
Well, Larry, let me answer your question. Earlier on, I was telling you that this year alone, as of June this year alone, 21 persons had been attacked and killed in the United States, where LGBTQ rights are legal. This is about Ghana, sir. This is about Ghana, sir. So let's focus on Ghana. Well, if this is about Ghana, then stop trying to import American values into the reasoning of Ghanaian legislation.
I am not an American. I am an African. I'm from Kenya.
Well, Kenyan values are not the same as Ghanaian values. We have different values.
Whoa.
I didn't say into Africa. I said into Ghanaian values. I'm a Ghanaian legislator. And just so you know, I represent a community or constituency that has 2 traditional areas. Before agreeing to push this bill, I met with my 2 traditional council. I am a representative of the people who voted for me. The people who voted for me, the 2 traditional councils said to me, this is against our culture.
The people who voted for you, Honorable George, and I have to go, the people who voted for you, of all the problems they have in your constituency, is this the major issue for them? Is this the thing they're most concerned about?
Well, this is one of the major issues for them, because the government of Ghana in 2020 spent $200 million subsidizing the cost of antiretroviral drugs for persons who have HIV/AIDS. The Ghana AIDS Commission is telling us that men having sex with men, MSMs, homosexuals, are leading the surge in HIV prevalence in Ghana. $200 million could have fixed the water problem in my constituency.
Okay, we're going to have to leave it there, Sam George.
Wow, Sam George. I don't know this guy personally, Sam George, but it looks as if Sam George is full on with this ambition and he really wants to do anything to make sure he pushes this to the max. Family, I'm encouraging that all of us will share our opinions on these things. This is what Sam George has said. That is what the interview was looking like. But then there are other people too that have gone through this kind of thing, and then they have a lot of things to share. Okay, there are a lot of things to share. There are people with experiences in this particular thing, the same situation, that they have a lot of experiences. Some of them have been through things, some of them have been through this, and they've come out of it, and they want to share what they think, and we are going to put that across. And then as a community, we look at a community, we say a society. Society is made of people. And what I know about democracy is that it's ruling the people by listening to the people. So if the people that you are ruling over are telling you what they want and what they don't want, I believe it is better we listen to them. Sister Kua, I can see you are already crying. The image you've sent shows that you are crying. Sister Kua Sewa, It's unfortunate that such a thing is creeping into a society that needs some other more important things. It's unfortunate, but what can we do? So we're gonna move into the next news item, and then it's all being gathered around this same thing. Is we've heard from the Muslim community, we've heard from the Christian community. Now we are going to listen to another community, and this will blow your mind. Watch this. Just listen to this. Okay, this man is speaking in a local dialect, but it will still make a lot of sense. I will explain this. If you understand it, great. But he's a king. Okay, he's a king. So we've got churches speaking, Muslims speaking, and the traditional authorities of the land also speaking. And let's see if any of them is happy with this. And if a society has got religious groups that are supposed to have divergent thoughts, agreeing on one thing, and then the traditionalist is also going to say what he has to say, then we will see where we get. And from here, the next one, oh my goodness, will shock you. Listen to this man.
Bebe Shamra, Sabaya Ban to me, worry, Berman, Martin Sabin Bassori, Sir Bantias, Nana, one in the Aka, Parliament of one of the Germans so been Tierney, Nanya Sandy Nipa, Nananga Sabam Nipa, Happen, once I see over.
This man is sending a big signal to the chiefs, the lawmakers, the parliamentarians of the country, and he's saying to them that he wants to speak to his chief, and he's expecting his local paramount chief to make a statement and send that message across to the Parliament House for the parliamentarians to understand that they are not happy with this kind of thing, and they will do anything to make sure, even if they get voted and they have said this, they will be voted out. So listen to him very well. I'll be translating what he's saying.
Nankadana Parliament, no? Yeah. Manka, Mekasa, Yura, Aban, Sumani, Babin, saying Yahuno, Tiemasamia, and your uncle, Honorable Chairman of Bunsu, Haruna Idrusu, Mr. Badano, and the Barbican Parliament. And so my mother and yes, some George in the Paka Club, Benabanyas, I same way. I am for your Ghana yet take Chile, Papa, I suffer for also take Chile.
Okay, he's talking about he's mentioning Honorable Alman Sumani Bagwin, that is the Speaker of Parliament of Ghana, that the Parliament House where the decision is going to be taken. And he's spoken about some George and all the other people. He's telling them that if they are going to decide to allow this LGBT thing to happen in Ghana, then that day the Parliament House, it's going to be rough, because he's going to say something else and you'll be shocked. So he's saying that here the chiefs of the land are not happy about LGBT being accepted in the country. So if you are doing something, you are cooking food for me to eat, and I say I don't want hot chili or I don't want salt, why are we going to force it on me? If the people don't like it, why are you forcing this on them? This is what Sam George was trying to say to the journalists on CNN. He's saying that this is what Ghanaians want. This is what the people that voted him want. So this is what he's going to champion. Now listen to I want you to also listen to one of the comments we've got on our channel. Sister Akpalo Favor says that it's an abomination before our Creator God, the originator of life, even the life of those who are demanding for their rights. It is still against, it's not good for their lives as well. So yes, Sister, God bless you so much. We expect more thoughts, more inputs like this from everyone that is on the channel. And then other people are going to read it, and it's going to challenge people. People, if we don't make noise about what we don't like, it will be forced on us. Silence always means we are happy. So if we are not happy, let us not keep quiet. Let us not be silent. Just say something online. Sister Kuag, Sewa, God bless you as well for your information that you're also putting across there. Let's go on and listen to this chief.
Ghana for now, no baby Sabisa Beno. I said, a quack has been in a popiam, now, also the Gina. Ban to me, Mario, Berman to me, Mario.
He says Ghanaians, when they asked them, the people said, no. most of them said they don't accept this. So he's shouting that a woman and a woman can never marry in Ghana, and a man can never marry in Ghana. This is what the chief or the king is also trying to put across there. Let's listen to him. He's saying, how are they going to make babies? And they're not going to accept any clone kids or any kind of, getting kids, someone getting impregnated for somebody and taking it. No. He said, how are they going to make babies? This is what he's thinking. Now let's listen more. What he's saying here will also blow your mind. He's saying that if he was the president of the country, he would have said, okay, if that's what you want to be LGBT or whatever, you want to be gay or lesbians, okay, go and start. But once you become a gay person or a lesbian person, remember, as soon as you get married, he gives you 1 year if you don't make a baby, just the two of you, male and male, female and female. If you don't make babies, he's gonna put you to task. He will do something very drastic to you. So I think that he said that on the lighter side, but yeah. So let's listen to him as he concludes.
Abrofunu yenye se be kwa brochiro tom ya baba fisa banya ade ne be kan se ba ne be ma be pa be fan kwa Arab countries ka be tini be twani sei na se won timi fan kwa Arab country bosien ba je bosien yenye ye wu ba pa kwa be nja bosien no bo na mom bama ne ba wa ba ma wa fa
The man is saying that if Ghanaians are not going to accept LGBT in Ghana under no circumstance, he is a chief and he's speaking to his higher chief, that it's not ever going to happen. If it's because of loans from the World Bank that the world is trying to push this on Africans, then he's not going to accept that they should take their loan, because they've been taking the loan and they don't still see any improvement. And he's going to say that if they want to push it on anyone, they should also take it to the Arabic countries and force it on them and see what the Arabic countries will do if they will accept this being pushed on them. So this is what he's trying to say, and he's laughing with it. So let's see. He's going to end it soon.
Na baba saade no banhwe ye ban na kabi mamin kabi na nya judge kabi ke mamin kabi nkuwa se ba na be ma menya nana e be say amamre sabio Sodom no Gomorrah no rather than right. Some no men baba so de man ka be duru ba bi kura ne ba buba baba sa ne ba buba Nana, what are Roma embassies now? And man said, "Been medianu." Me, I don't believe that Sakaya. Some men go on and peneso. Madame, my purpose, I don't refuse you. Cause in Tim Crum or dead. Sikaso Hanambwa. Me and Poggy Biabusia. I get bien why you're paying BSC. Pentia catch embassy for no. Then Faban 2 years in. Ghana for Nya. Obatina ha. Yentimi nko because we a different country. Who UK, who Canada, who America, Canada. Wanya wamamla no obaya. Nkoye no nkrum.
The chief is so serious, he's so wild. He's saying that any embassy in Ghana that will talk about this, they will not be happy with them. They are not willing to accept any embassy trying to put across what they think and their thoughts, impose it on the Ghanaians. He's saying that if you are an embassy, don't force yourself, your thoughts, your culture on the Ghanaians. Stay in Ghana as an ambassador, but don't, interfere with the decisions of cultural concerns like this. Because if he comes for visa, he doesn't even get it to go to your country. So if you want to have a culture like this, keep it in your country. Just be an ambassador in the Ghana country, but don't interfere in things like that. We will read a few comments as we go ahead. We've got Sister Kua Sewa coming again. He says, even animals can't do this. Why Ghanaians? And she's put on some emojis of crying. Says, God bless you, Nana. He's trying to acknowledge, and he's happy with what the chief is saying. And you can see all the people behind the chief. They are all happy, shouting and clapping for him for saying what they want him to say. Listen to this. He's ending it now.
Yeah. Empty parliament. Yeah. Why ever? Yeah. Now, one home. Yeah. Name dom nipa 10,000. Yeah. Near parliament. What other bears are there? Yeah. Now. Yeah, the ever I can't show you, near you say. Say you are. Say you are. I didn't have a Sikabia. Bian Robert Mamma Sika me as I have Yamamre. Yaba warrior Yamanum, Yenrianum, Yakasu about warrior. I'm an Bama no, Nana, Pomna, Domamanga, no, yes. So what is that you are, Homan Masunti? My Babu Nipano, but dear Badibako, Sadio and Kwamba, him to when you send them, never like I said, I dear Yamamra, I don't know on trust and on open your pants. Nana Pachama can say, me, what's it? I said, no, who can't never be a here.
So people, this chief has also brought his presentation to a close, and he has indicated the fact that he is not happy with what is happening. But we are going to move on straight away. I'm not going to interrupt at all. We are moving on straight away to some people even in America. These people are people that are going to share their testimonies as to how far they went into LGBT and how God was able to deliver them and how happy their lives have been, how excited they are with their new lives and the way they are living lives now. This is one thing that I want to conclude with this, but before they start their thing, I want us to I want to say something here, that every society has what they want. So if a society believes in something and they accept it, they embrace it. If you force food on anybody, they will not eat it. Even our children in Australia, our children in America, the children around the world, you can't force them to do anything. There are rules in the land. Every country you go to, there are laws that you need to follow. Even though some of them are not comfortable to you, you still have to follow them. So the laws are not made to fit everyone. That is unfortunately the truth. Laws are not made to fit everyone. It is made to fit the majority. So if the majority, even if we vote in elections, we say anyone that gets 50% plus one wins the election. So the fact that 49 plus whatever it's not in acceptance to the voting direction who won, they still cannot refuse to accept the one that won 50% plus one. So you only need half of the people plus one. So if about 50% of Ghanaians are saying no to LGBT, it does not mean it's cruel. You get my point? It does not mean the nation is doing anything cruel to those that it does not go in favor of. It also means that they also have to adjust to fit into it, because if their part side also won, the others would have also adjusted to fit in. Now, looking at what is happening, I remember before Ghana moved into proper democracy or proper voting, they did something they call referendum, a yes or no vote. So it means the voice of the people matters in democracy. So if in democracy the voice of the people matter, we are not talking about spirituality or religiosity or religion or Christianity, Islam. That's not what I'm talking about here. But just talking about democracy and the society. So if the society says no, why are we going to force it on them? The journalist was talking to this MP and he's saying that they are trying to force things and force that. Why is it that the community only have sensitivity to just this one? You, the person in CNN, you've never called any MP to interview them on any other issue apart from this. Why are you interested in only this one, but not on the other problematic areas too? So even, there are always sensitive areas in everything that everybody will be interested in, that something has to be done about. So in this case, I will encourage that if citizens have said yes, it will be done. If they are saying no, it should not be done. But from the way it's looking, I've listened to a wide range of people, and almost everyone is saying no, no, no. So why is it being forced on the people? Now let's listen to these people who they've lived their lives in America and listen to, they've been into LGBTQ and they are all going to share their testimonies. So this is a time of testimonies. Just read this thing that is on the screen and then you will see what I'm talking about. These people, it says, a number of former homosexuals and transgender people gathered recently on Capitol Hill to say sexual identity can be changed. They said it can be changed. Lives are proof. It says their changed lives are proof. So let's listen to this. Those that are saying people were just born with it, they were just like that and all that. People living with this, they have done this. They've come out of LGBTQ and they are saying their changed lives are proof, and the fact that sexual identity can be changed. So if you feel in your mind that you are a boy, even though physically you know you are a girl, you can be changed. And just listen to these testimonies, living testimonies, and it will blow your mind. God bless you.
I am a former lesbian. I'm very passionate about this topic because I really embraced that life. I won't talk about how or why I went into that lifestyle, but I fully embraced it, and I was confident in who I was, and I sought it out, and I was a champion for the LGBT, and I really even like to just be out there and promote it. So I had fully believed in this lie that gets perpetuated, that people don't change, they can't change, and if you try to change them, it's detrimental to their health. And I just want to say that's a lie. I almost missed out on some of the best and most precious moments of my life. I wasn't going to get married. I wasn't going to meet my husband. I wasn't going to get to have my own children.
Look at her.
This is not something that my mind was even open to. I didn't know that it was a possibility.
Now look at the beautiful family she's got.
And I stand before you now, a changed woman. I don't struggle with same-sex attraction. It's almost like it never was for me.
Wow.
And so I would like for that lie to stop being perpetuated. It's just simply not true. People can and do change if they want. And we need to be allowed as free Americans to seek that out. Nobody has the right to tell you you can't be what you want to be. And I did want change. And through the power of God, the creator of heaven and earth,
hallelujah,
this was able to happen.
Amen.
These days were able to happen, these moments.
Wow.
And I'm a happy woman. I don't suffer depression. I don't suffer with anxiety. I don't drink myself into stupors like I used to have to.
For a long time, I was very broken and hurt. I found out that I was HIV positive because I was promiscuous. My generation would say a hoe.
God have mercy.
And while I was searching for men and sleeping around a lot, I didn't realize that there was a man looking for me. His name is Jesus.
Oh my goodness.
I was able to find a church where they loved me.
Wow.
And they taught me that my identity was not my behavior. My identity was not who I thought it was, but it was a child of God.
Jesus.
So I stand here to say that I was a former homosexual or former hoe, and now I am a child of God.
I'm a former transsexual, drag queen, and prostitute.
Oh, goodness.
I lived a life of much gender confusion, much abuse, verbally, physically, sexually, by my father. Over the years, I had probably 50,000 sexual partners.
My goodness.
And because I was a sex worker. And I hated myself. I hated the fact that I was a man. I never knew how to accept myself or truly love myself. And then about 6 years ago, someone invited me to church. And God began to change my life, began to change my heart, and began to change my sexual identity, my gender confusion, and I began to heal from all of those things. Change is possible because if God can change me, he can change anybody.
Well, hallelujah.
My name is Angel Cologne. I am a former homosexual. I am a survivor of the Pulse nightclub shooting on June 12, 2016.
Jesus.
I was shot 6 times, sustained a shattered femur, and suffered nerve damage.
Wow.
A day I will never forget, a big turning point in my life.
Jesus.
Even in the midst of chaos, I prayed and prophesied over my life
My God.
that I would survive and live free, and here I am today.
Hallelujah.
Standing with no cane, here in the capital with my changed family.
Wonderful.
Many think I've made my decision to leave the LGBT community lifestyle because of the shooting, but I was desiring change way before June 12, 2016.
God bless these brothers.
Going through this horrible tragedy made me make the biggest decision in my life, which I'm very happy with. I've made this decision a year after Pulse nightclub shooting, finding what was the most important thing in my life, which was finding my true identity, which was in Christ.
Wow.
And today I stand here in the Capitol.
The devil is a liar.
Sharing to the world that change is possible.
Change is possible.
Yes, I am known as a Pulse survivor, but I really want to be known as living proof that God does transform lives.
Hallelujah.
My name is Kathy Grace Duncan. I'm from Portland, Oregon, and I'm a former trans man, former transgender. Before I went to kindergarten at a very early age, like 3 or 4, I believed that I should have been a man. I felt that I should have been a man. Dysfunctional family situations. My dad was very emotionally and verbally abusive to my mom, which told me that women were hated, women were weak, and they were vulnerable. I was then molested by a family member, which went on for 2 years.
God.
Also confirming that women were weak, vulnerable, and hated. At the age of 19, I finally surrendered and went into the lifestyle, took hormones, and changed my name. From there, I began to live as a man. 2 weeks later, I got saved. However, because I didn't hear from the Lord, I thought he was okay with my lifestyle. 4 years later, I was confronted by the church, and they asked me, "Who are you? Who are you really?" And at that point, I told the truth, and I said, "I'm a woman living as a man," and the Holy Spirit blew into me.
Wow.
And I realized at that point I needed to go back to being the woman that he created me to be.
Wow.
The next day, I started that journey out.
Wow.
5 years later, it took 5 years for the hormone effects to really wear off. And at that point, I crossed over and began to live fully as a woman.
You see, family, this is what the man, the minister of Ghana was saying to the journalist that he was not trying to understand. The hormonal changes that they try to subject themselves to. God bless you, Sister Paul. He says, the devil is a liar. The power of Satan wants to rule the nation. It's impossible. He says, it's impossible. Power belongs to our God. It's impossible. Power belongs to our God forever and ever. Amen. Sister Polly, God bless you. So you see, the woman is trying to talk about how the hormonal transformations they go through. Her one was still in her. So if this man is saying that even if someone was naturally having gender, issues, it could be addressed. And the journalist was saying no. You see, anyway, let's listen to these people. These people are the people that I want them to bless our lives into understanding that even if you are listening to me and you are struggling with this, please, help is available. The only way out is not through anything. The only way out is not to hide, but the only way out is to speak out to a Bible-believing church. That is the major way out. Listen to these people and you will know that they've been able to overcome it, not because they wanted to, but because they've given up their will and said, no more of this, and they allowed help to come their way. Let's go ahead.
26 years ago. Amen. And I have to say, I'm changed. I'm free. I no longer struggle with the attraction to women.
I was often suicidal or out of control.
Oh my God.
I came out during my early 20s and found solace and comfort in the LGBTQ community. They were my family. I was pursuing the path of an ordained pastor in the LGBT affirming church movement when I began questioning my faith. That long journey led me ultimately to question my sexuality as a lesbian. Over time, as my faith brought deeper emotional health, I also experienced an unexpected change in my sexual desires. Wow. Today, I've been married to my husband for 14 years. I no longer experience same-sex desires, and I no longer have symptoms of bipolar disorder. I've seen the restoration I have in countless lives of other Christians.
Wow.
Our faith compels us to share what we have received.
Yes.
We simply want to offer vision to those who feel conflict in their sexual orientation.
Hallelujah.
But also to ask that America recognize there are multiple options for people who experience LGBTQ.
Hallelujah.
People deserve the right to choose their own path and follow their religious convictions, especially in matters of their sexuality.
I was born to a mother who had me at 15 years old. My home was very dysfunctional. It was abusive and dysfunctional. I actually seen my father put his hands on my mom, and it left mental scars and emotional scars in me. It got to the point where my dad ended up abandoning us, and that left me really, really sad. As a young child, I can only remember wanting to have a relationship with my father, and continually him not showing up and being there was very tragic to me. So I grew up with a single mom, and she was one of my only influence. And I was the guy who was not into sports. I was not going to get dirty. I was like, that's not for me. I want to dance, I want to sing, and I want to be an actor. And I never had the desire to be a homosexual, but it wasn't until people started calling me homosexual. It wasn't until they started planting these seeds and saying, hey, you know, you like hair, you like to dance, you over there with the cheerleaders instead of with the football players, you're homosexual. And so that began to create a curiosity. I already suffered emotional wounds from my dad not being there, that abandonment, and I was looking for male affirmation. For most of my teen years, I was abused by a close family member, physically abused, which led to more pain and more hurt. And so I dove into the lifestyle. I really gave myself over to promiscuity. By the time I was 18, I was stripping. I was living in the nightlife, drinking every night, partying from Sunday to Sunday. I knew there had to be more, and then I encountered the love of God. And he came in and radically changed my life. The person you see here today is not the person I used to be. I am changed. I am fulfilled. I'm living my best life. I'm smiling and I'm dancing and loving life. And I want to tell the government that you cannot make decisions that will block people who were like me, who needed change and who wanted change to find freedom.
I'm a person who formerly had same sexual attraction. When I was very young in New York City, my father, who is a pastor, raped me. And when I got to kindergarten, my mother and my father, they decided to take me out of school, and I was taken out of school for a total of 8 years. And during that time, I was tortured by my mother. My mother was very hurt by men, and so any sign of masculinity was a trigger and a threat to her. I can remember her beating me with a wire hanger until I was bloody and putting alcohol all over my body as I stood in front of a mirror. And I learned at that moment that I could not be masculine. I learned that I had to be effeminate. I had to emulate my sisters to avoid triggering her and so that I could survive. By the time I was 18, I had been living in Alaska for a year. I had been through foster care.
Wow.
That was a time where the things that I had suppressed began to manifest themselves through pornography, addiction. By that point, I had a restraining order. I was in anger management. I was in counseling for PTSD, and I had a measure of gender dysphoria. And it was also that year that a friend who was 18 decided to force me to go to church, and I wanted nothing to do with church. But when I went to that church, I saw something in those people's eyes that I had never seen before. I saw a God that my parents did not tell me about. And those people in that church, they didn't hate me or anything. They loved me. I saw life inside of them, and I wanted that freedom and that life. The love that I saw inside of their eyes convicted me of the error of my ways. And I remember for 3 weeks just telling God how sorry I was for all the wrong that I had done. And he said, Christopher, I love you.
I grew up in a dysfunctional American family like most everyone else. But my father was emotionally, physically, verbally abusive. I'm the oldest of 4 children, and he took his venom out on me, his rage. I was 8 years old, and my dad was working. It was an autumn day kind of like this. My dad was working on the car in the driveway, and he was about to explode, and I knew I was going to be, the target of his venom. I just looked at him. I said, "You hate me, don't you?" He looked back at me as he took the Lord's name in vain and laughed. "Yes, I hate you." That wasn't a revelation. It was like, yeah, I knew that. Then at 10 years old, the neighborhood boys found their dad's Playboys. You see, Hugh Hefner was my first molester. I was introduced to porn, and I became instantly addicted. At 10 years old, I was sexually active with boys in the neighborhood.
Whoa.
My father, on his deathbed, the night before he went into a coma, said to me, I said, "Bye, Dad. I'll see you tomorrow." He says, "Bye, Greg. I love you, Greg." I felt like I was in the Twilight Zone. The very man who told me he hated me now told me he loved me.
Wow.
From that point on, that was my journey. When I finally forgave my father, that's when the same-sex attraction started to wane. That's when it started to leave.
God have mercy.
There are so many people trapped in homosexuality that won out, that have stories so similar to everything you've heard here. And standing right here on this stage is proof that homosexuality doesn't have to last a lifetime. Ex-gays, formers, ex-trans prove that change is possible.
Change is possible. Hallelujah, hallelujah. Change is possible. Change is possible. Family, this is what we are talking about. Change is possible for anybody.
I was in the lifestyle for 5 years.
Change is possible for anybody. But what I'm trying to say here to you is that this is what is happening in Ghana. The bill is yet to be passed, but you and I have a job, a task to play. The job we have to do is to type up our input opinions, share our thoughts, phone into the program if we have to, if we can, and let the world know that Ghana is not ready for this. Ghana is not happy with this. Ghana is not a country where these things can go on. So if this is not something that we all accept and it is something we frown against, then definitely the parliament cannot pass this. So I'm encouraging you to make sure you do the right thing and let Ghana be the country that we all want it to be. God bless you as you tune in today. Continue to share this with your friends and families and let everything we do be positive. God bless you and enjoy the song in the background. As we prepare to sign out the transmission today, I'm encouraging you to listen to this last song from the Ghanaians, and this is the national anthem of Ghana. When we hear this song, it rings a bell. As soon as this song is over, this anthem is over, then the transmission is over for today, and God will bless you. But don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Don't forget to share this link with anybody that you know, because this is going to happen very soon in Ghana if we don't make enough noise. So let us speak. The Bible verse at the bottom of the screen says it all. It's in the caption. It's explaining everything that we need to do. So don't forget, share it as you evangelize with it. It's Leviticus chapter 20 verse 13. It says, if a man has sexual relationship with a man, as one does with a woman, Both of them have done what is detestable. They are to be put to death. Their blood will be on their own heads. God bless you. That is what the book of Deuteronomy says. It is not acceptable and will never be acceptable. Stay tuned, and the Lord will continue to bless you as we all go through this together. God bless you.